Alright, so it seems that around winter time or right before winter forecasts come out or around the period winter forecasts come out, I notice a lot of weather enthusiasts tend to attack professionals with degrees or people that are just, highly intricately knowledgeable on meteorology. And it's gotta stop, really. I mean, the past, I would say, week, for some reason, people try to come at me and then come at another one of my professional colleagues that has a master's degree. It's not called for. I see a lot of people think, well, depending on what degree the person has or the caliber of the degree, it means that that's how smart they are. Well, you can wing your way to a degree and not know anything. You didn't learn anything. I had a debate before with a master degree holder in meteorology, and he didn't know anything compared to I when we got into a debate. What I'm trying to make is, my mentors, I've had many PhD affiliates have mentored me, okay? One is including Larry Cosgrove, and he is an absolute genius. He taught me correct discipline, taught me to listen more and speak less. That's exactly what I did. A lot of my new followers, I appreciate you guys cracking me over 2,000. You guys are great. My new followers that are meeting me, my name is Joseph McMahon, but you can call me Joey for short. I'm a no bullshit, no hype, gives it straight to you forecaster. And I could be a bit of a hard ass. I can definitely be like that. I'm very strong in what I believe in when it comes to forecasting. So if a bunch of people are saying one thing and I'm saying the other, I'm not going to conform to them. Just like I don't see, as of this point right now, I don't see any professionals talking about the Humboldt Peruvian current, and I'm the only person. And I'm not trying to come off as conceited, but it's factual proof out there. Someone actually tried to tell me that this current does not exist because meteorologists aren't talking about it. But the thing is, what are these results then? Okay, Humboldt current. Oh, look at this right here. Strong Peruvian current. Okay, so you have to understand that you need to listen. Okay, a degree is a prestige, but knowledge is the acquisition. If you are not equating and absorbing information while you're getting your degree, you got a piece of paper with nothing to your name. So when an employer gets that piece of paper, they're going to question you on what you know. And if you know absolutely nothing, that degree is useless. So let's go back to this over here. I have said time and time again that there will not be a dead of a winter. People keep on talking about, oh, November's warm. That's great, but you know what? A warm November isn't the only piece of the puzzle. We got to understand, why is November warm? All right? Let's go back and review. Okay? Before I do that, though, I just want to say Stephen DiMartino did an excellent, phenomenal job in his winter forecast. You guys got to go check out his page, check out his winter forecast. It should be somewhere down here. And click on it, because he shares the same ideas that I have, and equating everything of what is causing a warm November and whatnot. And I'm going to go back to this just for 1 second. I notice a lot of you try to be sneaky. Actually, a lot of you are sneaky. You will make fake accounts just to start drama after I block you. The point is, I'm always up for a debate. You learn stuff from debates, but the moment you don't learn anything and I know you're just trying to start stuff, I'm going to block you. And don't have one of your friends tweet me and say, why did you block my friend? Because I'm not going to answer them. So getting back to meteorology here, you have to learn to put your foot down. This just goes for anyone. Don't let people try and stomp all over you or try to start anything. But we basically are on the same page, and I told him he did an excellent job at creating the solar cycle and everything. And all I hear people talking about, oh, November's warm. Well, if you go and look over this over here, November is warm for a particular reason. His general winter forecast, very stormy, near normal, okay? This is basically going to be the most likely outcome, which is always a possibility of margin for error, but I don't see that. And I'm the only one talking about this Peruvian current right now, okay? I mean, we can go back real quick, and it's still going very strong, so I don't know where the hell this warm winter talk is coming from. I don't. I really don't. I mean, if we go down over here, okay, and we go to our ocean, and you go to our, this right here, sea surface temperature, if it indeed was going to be a bust of a winter, why is all the warm water all the way in Nino regions 3.4? Want to know why? Because the Peruvian current, and I'm going to highlight over this again, and we're going to review a lot of the stuff that I tweeted, which I love to do. We'll make this blue. Alright? Look, like it's a signature. It's right there. If you turn off the east-based El Nino, you're turning off convection on the Atacama Desert. What happens is all of that convection is focused here and enters the Gulf of Mexico and comes up the coast. So I don't know why you guys are freaking out about November being warm, because the reason why November is warm right now is because of our height anomalies. And how are we going to go and check these height anomalies? Well, very simple. Let's go back to this real quick. We are going to go to our mean sea level pressure so you guys can see what I'm talking about. There's your answer. It is warm in November right now because you have a positive NAO. You have an Icelandic low pounding Greenland, okay? You have another low off of Sweden and Norway up over here. You have lowering heights over here, and the opposite's going to happen with rising heights over there. All right? That is why November is warm right now. You have, okay, let me just show you a little bit more about physics and oceanography and earth science, because I feel like a lot of people that are educated in meteorology don't know about this, and it kind of bothers me. So we're going to go over to our sea surface temperature anomaly. Also, just a quick note, my meteorology professor, Dr. Claire Condi, she is phenomenal. I'm teaching her class on Thursday. She's going to let me teach the class Thursday. But look at this over here. You see all this warmth? The water is warm, and people go, but Joey, if the water is warm, it's going to be warm here. No, because if you have a high pressure over here, drilling cold Arctic air down into the northeast U.S., what's going on is you have it raining a lot because warm air rises, okay? It hits the condensation level, and it creates low pressure. Create a nor'easter, drill Arctic air in. What's going to happen is, and the coastal regions have to be very wary of this year, you are going to have a thermal gradient or barclonic setup, barclonic zone that's going to set up along the coast. Because if the SST anomalies start to go off onshore with Arctic air drilling, you're going to have explosive snowfall right over here. So going back to what I was saying before, why is November warm again? All right, here's another proof of evidence. Cool water, okay, what happens with cool water? It doesn't rise. The water is cooler. So you have a divergence of air creating high pressure, right? Okay. But the thing is, that's not what's happening. You got to use your head a little bit on meteorology, because the reason why these waters are so cool is because of all the low pressures forming here and going across over here. So what's going to happen is once you get enough cool SST anomalies, the air will start to sink rapidly from a high pressure in Greenland and the trough ones on the East Coast. That is exactly what's going to happen. All right? If you strongly still believe that this is not compelling evidence, then I'm not going to waste my time convincing you any further. If you're willing to listen to what I'm telling you, then that is awesome. I commemorate you for it. But I post all these things to show you guys. Warm November. Okay, then why are and I'm against analogs. I still am. But when you take, pieces of it, some of the pieces do verify. And what's matching the current pattern of the analogs is basically how it plays out. All right? So if we look and go back over here, you see that the months of December, January, February. January and February is going to be crazy. It's proof right there. Go back over here again. Now, I have this piece of software that I use, and it's showing way in the long range around like Sunday on the 22nd. You have building height anomalies over here, and you also have an El Nino anomaly. Now, I was looking over this to see if it was, a hurricane or something. It's an El Nino anomaly. It literally sits for 10 days off the Eastern Pacific. So, you have to really know what you're talking about in meteorology to understand what's going on, as I'm explaining right over here. Because if you are going to try and get into a debate with me and not know what you're saying, it's wasting my time and your time. Alright? Just remember, I'm here to forecast for you guys. Okay? I mean, I enjoy doing this, but I think people in the public deserve to know the right thing. Alright? Like here, NAO is going to tank. As I said before, okay? It's positive right now. Here's your proof. We go back over here. It's, the evidence is right there. These waters are cooling off because the low pressures form here. They explode in the moss, and it's taking the latent heat energy out of the waters and cooling them off. Once all of this encloses around west of Iceland, all this, cold water fills in, what's going to happen is you're going to have high pressure form. And the high pressure is going to form and bump right into Greenland over here. All right? So the panic, I don't understand where this panic is coming from. I really don't. You have to understand, okay, yeah, November's warm, okay, yeah, when we had an October snowstorm a couple years ago, our winter was a dud, but do you know that a cause of a violent winter, or a prolific winter, and a dud winter can also cause an October snowstorm, so you really have to understand what you're talking about, all right? Just look through my page. If you don't understand what's going on, I mean, Twitter is only 140 characters or less. I can't fit all that, and I'm not going to chop pieces and blocks just to feed you. Hand feeding like a baby. I'm not going to do that. You don't understand what's going on, go through my Twitter pictures and whatnot, okay? If you know what's going on, great. If you have the opposing viewpoint of mine, that's perfectly fine. But please do not ram them down my throat, because I will not feed into that. And the drama, not just with me, but other people people are attacking them, don't do that, because they're going to block you, and you're going to get even more mad. Or I'm going to block you. Stay on their good side so they can help you, teach you things. If you say, Joey, I want to learn a little bit more about meteorology, I will literally have the biggest amount of patience to teach you everything I know. Because I'm going to tell you right now, all of these currents you're not going to probably learn in meteorology at all. Because it's not meteorology. It's oceanography, topography on top of geography, and earth science. Alright? Just look at what I'm talking about over here. And understand what's going on. And meteorology is not the easiest thing in the world. I was going over with the review because South Jersey got plagued by bow echoes. This was back in, March? I think it's in March. This was the outlook for the spring and summer. And this verified very nicely. South Jersey got absolutely rocked, as I explained. With the weak El Nino veering its ugly head, we will have a lot of moisture to work with, concentrated mostly east of the Rockies and Mississippi. And derechos, which thank God it didn't turn into derechos, but they were bow echoes, are concerned starting from Iowa and ending New Jersey and pointing south. And in these regions, bow echoes did form and did head towards South Jersey and Philly many times this year. So just take the time to basically look through with what I'm talking about, and you'll really understand. But complaining and attacking is not going to help you learn anything. I mean, debating is great. Debate is good because if you're preaching something and someone proves you wrong, you can learn from that. And if a bunch of professionals are saying one thing and I'm opposing them, don't try and throw evidence into my face saying that I'm wrong, because at times I have been right. I'm a rebellious person. I like to innovate. I like to, I'm very skeptical of a lot of things, but I have a very big brain and I like to try and figure out, okay, it's saying this, but what if this is a possibility? Don't just listen to what you hear and just take it for verbatim. You have to really articulate what you're being fed and make sure that it's 100% accurate. Because I present so much information here. Look, all this over here, Gulf of Mexico SCT above average anomalies. All right, I explained to you the Nino regions right here. Okay, so people were saying, oh, but the El Nino is warm. Okay, yeah, but what region is it warm and what region is it cold? Like, literally, I post all this evidence here. So instead of trying to attack me and getting your point proven, look at this first and then be like, oh, okay, this makes sense. I made this tweet on November 8th. If you remember before, I was showing you the NAO chart dipping to negative. All right, I know what I'm doing. And trust me, okay? Because when I'm wrong, I beat myself up for it. And I figure out why was I wrong. Because I try to be a perfectionist. And I basically explain, everything I possibly could in plain English. My professor is going to let me teach my meteorology class. I took a meteorological exam today with 100 questions. And I pretty much, did the whole thing in like 5 minutes. Because I knew exactly what I was doing. I've been teaching myself. I started reading at I think I started acquiring, when I was like, 10 or 11 years old, when I knew a college level of meteorology. I was premeditating that young. So trust me on what I'm saying, because I trust myself. Alright? You guys have a great night, and I hope you guys learned something from this video.